pronounced Konxari, and it's actually derived from the Egyptian word Konxar, which means to speak with the dead.
Konxari cards aren't really a game. The official tagline is that it's a supplement for your ghost hunting, seance, or spirit communication experience.
To put it in layman's terms, these cards are a tool to help you communicate with those on the other side.
In the short time that I've been using these cards, I've already seen that these are the real deal.
The messages that I've received from the cards are extraordinary.
Konxari cards. Wow.
The cards are very real. They work.
Konxari is a card divination process that has been practiced in one form or another since the ancient Egyptian era.
Cartomancy, which is divination or fortune-telling with the use of cards, is known to have been created by the Egyptian god Thoth.
Tarot, Oracle, and Konxari are several forms of cartomancy and magic that originated from these times.
The Egyptians were known for their precise rituals respecting the deceased, with elaborate practices like mummification and celebrating the afterlife. Such ceremonies were said to rejuvenate the living Ka, allowing the body to act as it did in life as we know it.
And one such process the Egyptians used to seek guidance or to communicate with their deceased ones was through Konxari.
The first known version of Konxari were glyphs etched in 88 stone tablets called stelae.
Oddly, a similar set of stone tablets had been discovered at Chichen Itza, where Mayans would contact the dead in a similar fashion.
However, over the years in Europe, the Konxari practice became pretty obscure, and after many generations, only pagans and gypsies held on to its secrets.
In Germanic lands during the 1400s, the Konxari was revived as an 88-card set called Offenkundige Karten, which means conjure cards.
Ultimately, Konxari cards were viewed as embracing demonic forces and banned through most of Christian Europe.
Today, the true Konxari has been resurrected in a new deck that gives you the opportunity to communicate with the other side.
The Konxari practice had been relatively obscure for nearly hundreds of years.
Finally, a company called IRM Foundation secured the rights to produce these cards exclusively.
A lot of decisions had to be made on how to merge all the variations throughout the years into the quintessential Konxari set that is available today.
There were certain cards or tablets dating back to the ancients that just don't register to the world today.
There is now a current subset of cards that relates to the contemporary tools that a paranormal investigator would use.
With standard ghost hunting equipment like camera, EVP, and even auto writing, the Konxari practice encourages users to utilize additional tools of documentation during a reading.
I can't even begin to tell you, when using Konxari cards, the things I've seen.
Another update, instead of iconography, now they're used in modern photography. And I have to admit, these cards are very gorgeous.
The IRM Foundation hired award-winning photographer Paul Michael Kane to shoot ethereal images for each of the 88 Konxari cards.
The card images really run the full range of beautiful and creepy. But that's the way the world works. You can't have the good without the bad, or life without death.
What you see is what you get, and some of the images may seem a little unsettling. If you look twice, you might see something that seems a little out of place.
So what are Konxari cards? Konxari cards are essentially a cross between a Ouija board and tarot cards, but much, much, much more than that.
The 88 Konxari cards are broken up into 9 categories. The first is character cards. These could represent someone who's contacting you.
But the answers aren't always easy. A character card could represent somebody that they're trying to contact here.
The next category is location cards.
It could be as vague as a lake or as specific as a bedroom.
Next are the victim cards. These usually represent the way that someone from the other side has passed.
Yes, many of the victim cards are unpleasant ways to go, but there are also natural ways of passing on, such as age or illness.
But let's face it, many of the souls that linger on probably had an unexpected departure, but that's nothing to be afraid of in the world of the living.
Time cards obviously deal in how things used to be, how they are right now, and what could possibly happen. The concept of time and space is vast.
Obstacle cards. Again, with an unexpected departure, many of these souls are very frustrated. And keep in mind that communication between realms is never easy.
The equipment cards indicate modern ghost hunting tools. Konxari cards themselves have become more popular amongst paranormal investigators as an alternate means of contact.
The energy cards deal with metaphysics or unseen forces.
The power of healing and the energy of movement itself are all indicators of how the physical plane and the spiritual plane are all united because we are all energy.
The last set is the most important one, the message cards.
These cards are the crucial message that the spirits are trying to communicate.
This is key to helping a restless soul find peace.
Each of the 88 Konxari cards has a symbol in the lower left-hand corner. These symbols can be additional clues from the other side.
You have triquetas and, of course, ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics.
You have the symbols for magic and discovery.
There are alchemy symbols, which represent the wisdom of the ancients.
Of course, you have the full set of astrological and astronomical symbols.
And while Konxari doesn't endorse any particular religion, there are religious symbols that may indicate the faith of the departed.
The directional arrows can also point to specific locations or people in question.
Some of the cards have a specific color swatch. Color can always play a part in one's mood or message.
Science has definitely proven the emotional effects color can have on us.
The lower right-hand side of each card also has a number or a letter.
The secrets of numerology have been studied as far back as recorded history, but the use of numbers here could be representative of something much simpler.
You may see a series of numbers that mean something to you, like a birth date or an address.
You have to assess everything with the cards to get an accurate message.
The testimonials that have come in from all over the world are astounding.
My favorite is the case of Nene Adelson.
My mother had passed away unexpectedly, and I was really having a difficult time accepting this. Ever since she died, really strange things started happening around the house. Loud noises, objects moving around the house by themselves. It was getting so bad, we were ready to move. So I decided to give Konxari cards a try. I did a reading, and it was really weird because I really felt like my mom was trying to contact me. However, the cards that were laid out really didn't make a whole lot of sense. I knew it was a cryptic puzzle I had to solve, and I knew that it had to do with the past, and I knew it was when I was a little girl. Suddenly, I realized that the images weren't the message, but the letters on the cards actually spelled out my drawer. This was really crazy, because my mom always had this drawer that she kept all of her knickknacks. Now, I had already cleared out this drawer, so I knew it was empty, but I thought I would check anyway. So I went into her room, opened the drawer, and there was this brooch that my mom had given me when I was a child. I thought I'd lost it for good. I hadn't seen it in 20 years. But suddenly there it was, in her drawer. You have no idea what this family heirloom means to me. I knew at that moment that my mom was watching me and she was happy. Oddly enough, the loud noises, all the paranormal activity, it all stopped after that. I now know that my mom is in a better place.
While the supernatural should never be taken lightly, you can be rest assured that this practice is not intended to bring evil into the world of the living.
This is a chance to see the light of the unknown, to open your mind to a bigger picture, and to gain knowledge from another world.
The difference between tarot cards and Konxari cards is that tarot cards are all about you, but Konxari cards are all about them.
There are spirits that exist within our own realm, and this is your chance to communicate with them.
Perhaps you can help them, or maybe they can help you.
The cards are only a tool to communicate and understand. From there, what you do to make their world a more restful place, or your own for that matter, is up to you.